So we gonna find out. We just gonna find out if we think it's good enough or not good enough about Lil Durk getting a bond because Drew Fillon and his Avengers decided to put in a motion today. Here we go. All right, so if you don't know, man, Durk got the dream team. If y'all want me to make a separate video of this, I'll do it on the Steady Nash Reloaded channel about the other lawyers. We already know my opinion about Drew Fillon, best lawyer in all of America. But putting BTA on the feds, beat him for Kentrell Golden, a.k.a. NBA Youngboy. But y'all don't want to hear me talk about that. Y'all ready to hear about Schmirk. So it says, Dirk Banks, through his attorneys, Drew Fillon, Marissa Goldberg, Jonathan M. Berryman, and Christy O'Connell, hereby files the following memorandum in support of his application for reconsideration of the order of detention dated December 16, 2024. Now we're just going to go to the memorandum. Mr. Banks requests reconsideration of the order detaining him pretrial. Since his December 12, 2024 detention hearing, new information has come to light that impacts not only the veracity, if y'all don't know what veracity means, it means just the truth, of the evidence presented to the grand jury, but of government counsel's representations to the court at the first detention hearing. In light of these developments, Mr. Banks presents the court with a substantial bond package that mitigates against any risk posed by Mr. Banks' release on conditions. Fan page edits with Wonderful Wayne, lyrics and new footage. In arguing for Mr. Banks' detention, the government has attempted to hold Mr. Banks responsible for video clips that YouTubers and Instagram users have edited, produced, and posted to social media, but with whom Mr. Banks has no affiliation. At the initial detention hearing, in this case, the defense called into question the accuracy of paragraph 6 of the superseding indictment, which references lyrics from a song by a recording artist named Babyface Ray that features Mr. Banks, Wonderful Wayne, and Jackie Boy. The superseding indictment charges following the attempted murder of TB, that's Tyquan Bowman, and the murder of SR, that's Lil Pop. Defendant Banks sought to commercialize SR's death by rapping about his revenge on TB with music that explicitly references audio from the news clip taken shortly after SR's murder, where TB screamed, "No, no," after seeing SR's dead body. Told me, get the Addy, go, go. Got location, go, go. Green light, go, 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 go. Look on the news and see your son, now you screaming, no, no. Drop the P word. It's too early, so I can't say it just yet. Defense counsel produced an affidavit from sound engineer and music producer Justin Gibson. Warren Gibson attested that approximately 7 months before the August 2022 shooting death of SR, thus the song could not have been commercialization of Mr. Banks' participation in the murder and could not have referenced audio from a news clip taken shortly after SR's murder, as the government led the grand jury to believe. Also see document 134, defendant Dirk Banks' motion to dismiss. When addressing the Gibson affidavit at the detention hearing, the government referenced a music video not yet produced to the defense containing the Wonderful Wayne lyrics alongside news footage of the shooting at issue. The government told the court, Your Honor, we actually object to this proffer. This line of argument about Mr. Banks' lyrics being recorded several months before the murder and thus not a celebration and commercialization of the murder as alleged in the superseding indictment. The bottom line is there was a video that was filmed showing defendant's rival screaming, "No, no," that was placed over these lyrics. Exhibit 12/12/2024 detention hearing transcript, emphasis added. The government then speculated that alternatively, perhaps Wonderful Wayne lyrics could be a reference to some other uncharged murder. So, independent of the lyrics were actually written and whether this is about Mr. Banks sanctioning some other murder, which the government submitted evidence showing that there were other monetary bounties placed on rivals and to solicit murder. So, independent of who this was ultimately about, the commercialization and this allegation nonetheless valid. Finally, government counsel argued that even if the lyrics were recorded many months before the charged murder, they could still somehow be a reference to it. There's nothing in paragraph 6 that talks about when it was produced or written. So the government again objects with that or objects to the characterization and disagrees with it. Following the hearing on January 28, 2025, the defense sought clarification by email about exactly what video the government was referencing that featured both the TMZ news footage and the Wonderful Wayne lyrics. The government responded that additional discovery would be forthcoming, but provided 2 links to examples of the reference video. The first was posted by a user with the handle OTF_edit. The second was posted by a user with the handle @MyMixtapes. These videos do, in fact, contain audio and video from news coverage of the shooting, in which TB can be heard screaming, superimposed over the Wonderful Wayne lyrics. The government made a discovery production to the defense on January 7, 2025 that contains these and similar videos along with screenshots of the videos. The critical flaw for the government, however, is that Mr. Banks did not create these videos, and the government has failed to show any nexus between these manufactured video clips and Mr. Banks. These videos were not created nor posted at Mr. Banks' direction. The internet users who posted the videos, including OTF Edit and My Mixtapes, are apparently fan pages maintained by people with no affiliation to, and then y'all can see the links right here. And there you go, the corresponding Instagram account for DO Block, whatever, it's a fan page. So the date and timestamps on some of the produced materials revealed that the government captured them from the internet on January 28th, 2025, after defense counsel raised the issue via email, and just minutes before the government responded with the above referenced YouTube links. Mr. Banks or Only the Family Incorporated, it is unfair, misleading, and just flat out wrong for the government to suggest that Mr. Banks is responsible for these video/audio edits, or that they are evidence his purported commercialization of a murder that he supposedly ordered. Wonderful Wayne has nothing to do with the shooting at issue. In this case, rather than just concede this at the initial detention hearing, the government instead to choose to speculate about an alternative theory of criminal liability connecting the video to Mr. Banks, despite the explicit and specific language of the allegations contained in the superseding indictment. Moreover, after the initial detention hearing, the government doubled down on this debunked allegation, searching the internet for anything that might support their chosen narrative that Mr. Banks was the driving force and the reason for SR's murder. This should not be given this court impromptu. Instead, this court should grant Mr. Banks pretrial release on a secured bond with the conditions set forth below. Mr. Banks' proposed bond package. Mr. Banks, a devoted husband, father, and son, as well as an internationally renowned musician and recording artist, should be granted pretrial release on reasonable conditions that include the following: a bond secured partially or in full by approximately $900,000 in equity in real estate properties, $1 million in cash tendered by Alamo Records, and $150,000 cash tendered by Nazir Ali Benari, Mr. Banks' business associate, home detention with electronic monitoring, around-the-clock security services, ensuring compliance with all conditions imposed by this court, reporting the pretrial services, and additional third-party sureties and guarantors to satisfy a bond amount that the court determines to be reasonable under 18 U.S.C. 3142. Third, conclusion. For the foregoing reasons, Mr. Banks respectfully requests that the court reconsider its previous detention order and permit his release secured by a robust bond package and subject to substantial conditions. They're not going to grant it. I'm going to be fair, bro. They're not. It sounds good, but I think this right here was a genius move. I think this right here was a genius move. Why? Because if we're talking about this, we're essentially talking about what evidence the government has and that they're trying to keep a tight wrap on. So think about it this way. Durk isn't going to get the bond because he's already accused of orchestrating another hit for his brother. They failed to mention that. They talked about it like, oh yeah, this was to another case and all this crap. But because they didn't say anything, that right there is enough. And I wish Drew Finland would have put that out there that, hey, man, the government, as far as the whatever county it is in Illinois, they have never charged Mr. Banks with anything. This is pure speculation. They would have put that in there. Cool. And I know I'm not a lawyer. And I'm not really questioning Drew, but I will question why you didn't do that. Now, somebody could say, well, Sadie Nash, since you know so much, because it might go ahead and kick that off as well. And they may be waiting to say after this stuff happened. And I would say you're wrong. Because there are states when R. Kelly got his charges, they went ahead and went along with it as well. So there's that. But that's not the only song. Them putting this message out that, bro, the government is using the song that got recorded way before, because let's be fair, I don't think that Durk created that song like that. I think it was in the vault for a minute, but they're right. That was a fan edit, bro. There's no way in this world in the original song that no part is not even in there. So If it's not within the original freaking file, then how the hell can y'all even say that? So it doesn't make sense on that part. And that's the issue that the feds do, that they have. They always do that crap. So when you guys are sitting here talking about, oh man, Durk is finished and the feds, they know everything, they have it all right. Prime example. So I don't want to hear, well, I don't want to say I don't want to hear. I can't tell y'all what to say on here. But to believe that these cats just basically have it all right, no, they don't. The feds just, Drew Finland just basically said, hey, bro, the feds, a day or two before we even did all this crap, they were still scouring the internet trying to make connections, which means they are watching everything on the internet posted as far as music to make their case. So with that being said and that being done, man, I don't think that the feds essentially even have that slam dunk. I never thought they did. I thought that they were essentially trying to make it as though Durk is guilty, Durk is guilty, Durk is guilty. They wanted him off the streets. They wanted his money. And some of you people will disagree. Some of you people be like, man, nah, bro. Nah. That's not the case, man. But I'm telling you like this. Why not? Why not? What's stopping them before? What has stopped them before? The government is the government. They're basically on whatever they're on. Their whole mission is to secure a conviction. So don't sit and get mad at me if I say I don't believe the feds. I don't believe this is a slam dunk case. Once I started looking at all the evidence that I seen, well, that was afforded to us. Let me put it that way. That was afforded to us. Now, obviously, I ain't seen the case. They can't even share the case. They can't show the case. They can't do any of that. So even, let's say, God forbid, that Durk gets found guilty. And if he ultimately did this, let me make sure I put this out, because some people are going to think, oh, man, you caping up for Durk. That's your homie and you caping up for him. Nah. Let me say this emphatically. If Durk was that stupid to do that, he deserves what he gets. It is what it is, bruh. You slid for Von. That's pretty stupid, because let's be fair. Von was in the wrong. That's why nobody went to jail for his murder. The law says that Von was wrong. Street law say get your get back and get it in blood. You take life, we take life. I get all that. But let's not sit here and play Captain Pretend like Von wasn't in the wrong at all. So with that being said, on the behalf of whatever the hell Durk got going, that's that. But I'm telling y'all, bro, from the information that was afforded to us, I'm just not seeing it. I'm not seeing the slam dunk. I'm not. Because they said, oh, he was saying phrases and all of this stuff. And he was saying that, oh, man, you essentially need to do this and you need to do that. And it's like, bro, that could have meant anything. Imagine if I got accused of strangulation. Say I strangled somebody, asphyxiated them with my bare hands. I was accused of that. But instead of me doing it, I hired somebody, right? And they say, man, Seti Nash always say, I ain't gonna hold you. That was code for he would do it, and he hired somebody to do it. So basically, I ain't gonna hold you mean one of his homeboys to do it. So imagine if I say, man, I ain't gonna hold you. That's $1 million. Seti Nash just basically said, go strangle that person and he'll give you $1 million. You see how they could spin that right there? So there's that BS. They know propaganda. We all are victims of propaganda every single effing time. So I don't believe the feds. I just don't. Do I believe that somebody from Durk's camp did this? Well, I mean, Durk's camp is Von's camp. Von's camp is Durk's camp. Yeah, but does that mean that Durk knew about it? Hell no. Does that mean that Durk ordered the hit? Hell no. So there's that. I just don't believe the freaking feds. And some of y'all will be like, nah, man, I seen this. I heard that. The person that's supposedly going to be a witness and all this, man, he saying this. Bruh, let me tell you something. He don't know nothing. That person that's over there yammering like he really knows something just because he worked with them cats in Chicago. Nigga, this is California, homie. You ain't been there unless it was a check for somebody for you to come through there and do all that weirdo stuff, which, once again, do your thing. I'm not really tripping off you, bro. You already sent the feds on me already, so I don't want no smoke. Any nigga that fight me with the feds, hey, bro, you got it. I tip my cap to you. But either way that go, I'm just not believing it. If you believe it, let me know in the comments why you do. But because they didn't address Durk doing the hopping the fights and stuff, like booking multiple fights, the fact that they didn't address that, the fact that they didn't address the killing, the fact that they didn't address all the lyrics, they couldn't put it out there like that, the fact that they're essentially not going to be able to debunk the fake hits. I'm sorry, I don't see how Durk gets a bond. I hope he does, but I'm just not seeing it, man. So it is what it is. And some of y'all gonna be like, well, what about the money and using the credit cards and all that crap? Bro, if I had a freaking company that just gave me 40 to 50, well, 30 to $20 million, put that on my company card so I can write that off with taxes if you were an artist of mine. If Seti Nash owned a freaking a label and I had rappers, every effing rapper would have a card. I'm not giving you no money. Here's the card. That's it. Here's the spending limit you have. That's it. That's how I'm operating. So that way, I keep records of all this electronically. That's just, I ain't finna do all that. That's just the person in me. I understand taxes and all this stuff and how to do it. I'm giving you a card. I'm not giving you no money. This card right here will take care of all of this stuff. And I'm fairly certain they taught Durk the same exact thing because what I know, he knows. And if he knows it and I know it, it's practice. But hey, share to keep your people aware. Subscribe, turn on the bells to notify. Now, catch you on the next one. If you like what we do, y'all know what to do. Hit that subscribe button with the bell on it too.